Welcome back, my darlings. Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you remember having an honest conversation with someone? Was it sincere? Did you care? Or was it mostly the arbitrary filler we so often stuff our lives with in order to find safety? Did you really care about Susie's nightmares and the man who visits her window at night with boxes of spiders? Or did you just want to get another drink? Is Billy doing okay? Or is he really going to scoop out the demon in your eyes with that spoon he's holding? He certainly tied the bindings well enough, didn't he? Our campers certainly felt safe until they learned more than they really wanted to, and now they have more than just the dark woods around them to discuss. In this chapter, Ivan continues to sustain the delicate atmosphere that invokes the hand-quivering emotion that lends its name to the game. Have our players found sanctuary? Will everything work out? Is that really the story you want? Is that what you really want? No! Let's have an honest conversation. You want to plunge forward into the darkness. These are the Sagas of Sundry. I am Mr. Wren, and this is Dread.
After 8 hours of hiking from your car, the crunching of gravel underneath your feet tells you that your destination is near.
Sat, we are going back to the house.
Yeah, totally. I think that we should just retrace our steps, right?
You see something. It wasn't there before. Would you like to come get it?
No, I'd like to stare at it for a minute.
Can I just put the cards on the table that our spirit is speaking to us?
Guys, if it were real, why would we want it to talk to us? The girl I love is losing her mind. This is gonna prove that it's just a camping trip, and I'm gonna help bring her back to Earth.
Caden.
Yeah.
Did you dose any of us last time we were here?
There's drug reel, and that was not, I don't know what the fuck that was.
I have a ritual that we could do that would protect us.
Pick it up, put it down.
No doubts. Pick it up, put it down.
You hear a large crack, but you grab your friends and you pull them all out, and you watch as the roof collapses down upon you.
That was all my stuff. That was it. That's all I had left.
As you get closer to the orange light, you actually come to the porch of a
I've
house.
spent so much trying to act like this doesn't exist. The truth is that I wake up with nightmares about it all the time.
See, Tanner, it is real, and I'm not insane. He wants something from us, but it's fine. I mean, there's no such thing as evil.
I beg to differ.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Dread. When we last left you, Miss Reyna, you had just taken the skeleton key which you had pulled from the porch under the house in order to unlock the front door. So, as you opened up that door and gazed into what was going to be your perfect salvation, you see piles and piles of moldy boxes. Old, rotten carpet squishes underneath you as you grungily step a couple of feet inside, and you smell the most foul, tainted air that you can possibly imagine. As if someone was using this hallway as a meat locker. And while the doorway in front of you is open, you can see a large set of double doors ahead of you as it T-sections off into an intersection.
Guys, it's open, but it's real gross in here.
Yeah. Should let it breathe a little bit. It's really gross.
I think it's breathing just fine.
Oh, yeah. Hey, guys. Let's just, maybe there's something in these boxes that we can find. I am specifically looking for valuables and silver items, and I just want to start, like, boop pocketing them. Just
Got it. So you take one of the small boxes, and as you lift up the cardboard box and pick it up, you feel as just the bottom falls out from underneath, and then you watch as various affections, small items, and you hear porcelain break as it just unloads right in front of you, and you stand holding an empty, sodden.
Are you okay?
The box isn't okay. Has something fallen out of it that looks substantial? Maybe like a rock or...
Yeah, there seems to be a very sizable metal-looking horse.
Okay, I'd like to just toss the box and grab the horse and hold the door open with it so that this thing...
Breathes out.
Yeah.
What's the date on one of these piles of newspapers? I don't even want to touch it. I just want to see what the top paper's date is.
June 15th, 1945.
What'd you find?
Check it.
That's 20 years after the letter.
Yeah, this is 24.
I'm gonna start looking around to see if there's any sort of like a kerosene lantern or anything that can be used to give us some sort of mobile light source in here.
Make a pull.
Boy, I knew you were gonna say that.
Oh my gosh.
As you continue to look around the various alcoves and musty pieces of this house, Tanner, you see some really old photography. Beautiful work that seems to be everywhere, but it all seems to have this sense of, I don't know, there's something odd about each one of the people that are in the subjects of these photos, but you can't seem to put your finger on it.
Oh my gosh.
But on the side, you definitely see hanging on one of the, next to a sconce of sorts. In the sconce is a small kerosene lamp.
Anybody got a light?
Yeah.
You take the time to look into it, noticing that it's not kerosene, it's actually an oil lamp. And as you pull the wick out and light it, you notice that there's actually quite a bit of fluid inside of it, so there's gonna be a good burn in it for a while. As the oil lamp begins to brighten and illuminate, you can feel the darkness being pushed away around you. The light bathes across all of the various affections, and now truly you see every bit of available wall that doesn't have something affixed to it is covered with a portrait of some kind. In fact, now that you can see the light around it, you can see there's actually various pieces of camera gear.
When were these photos taken? What kind of clothes are they wearing? What?
Early Western, British-inspired garb. You can see a lot of it has frontier clothes. There is a wide array of cultural distinction, but everything is super clear. They're all in extremely formal attire, and they're all very strict portraiture, with the subjects not doing much more than just sitting and looking at the camera.
Raina, could you hold this for me? Thanks. I'm just gonna go ahead and start just getting a photo log of the displays here.
I want to see if there's any faces that I recognize.
You don't see a face that's familiar, but you do see something strikingly odd. It's the biggest portrait in the house. It has a giant oval frame, and you can see this beautiful floor that seems to be coming around it, and is probably the oldest one inside of the house. And this is the photo.
Oh my God.
Guys,
Guys, look at this. There are 3 children held by a woman, maybe, or a person just covered in a black shroud. I want to try to take that painting off the wall.
It's firmly bolted to the actual wall itself. At the bottom, though, you can see there is a small engraving, and taking your hand, you can wipe away a little bit of the grime and the dust underneath it to hear it distinctly read 5/28/24. Agatha and the boys, left to right. Simon, 3/13/19. Charlie, 1/23/24 to 5/23/24. And Bernard, 11/14/22, 5/23/24.
So Simon doesn't have an end date,
Yes.
So Simon's probably the one surviving.
Probably wrote that note.
or he's still alive.
Or was alive when this got engraved.
Simon, do not listen to your father. The devil is in 540.
Let's find a radio.
All right. Would you like to go through the double doors in front, or would you like to go to the left to the right? The left appears to be a big open area that may appear to be a family room. The right is also a big open area that seems to be a multi-couched sitting room. Also boxes, as far as the eye can see.
Let's go to the box room. I would like to go to the sitting room.
Okay.
All right.
As you go into the sitting room, you begin to look around and you can see couches. You can see an old phonograph. This is a room that has 2 large bay windows inside of it that look out into the area behind the house, but they are barred with large drapery. And the one thing that I should probably point out is that this place does not look very lived in. It looks terribly untidy. You're looking around for things?
I'm opening boxes, looking around.
Is there a record on the phonogram?
There is a record on the phonogram.
Is it a crank phonogram? Do you just crank it
It is
up?
a crank phonogram, and as you crank it, you are basically motivating it as much as you can, but it's like turning a rusty gear. And that's when you actually notice when it begins to spin, you can hear the soft tunes of an old operatic harmony before it clicks and skips. And you look down and notice that the record has been cracked and broken in 2. Sat, you're frantically going through boxes, piles and piles of photo paper, lots of discarded camera equipment and various other things, but you do see the key. It sits just in between 2 small porcelain horses that seem to be kissing each other on their snouts, and it's dangling off of one of their ears.
Where the hell did you find that?
It's over here on this horse.
You also see an interesting photograph that's sitting there as well. That one has something written on the back of it. November 14th, 1926. Kimberly Rochester with her son, 9/18/26, 11/12/26.
That's 2 years later. That's a different child.
This looks like it's a piece of a thing.
Pick it up, set it down. Pick it up, put it down 6 times.
Pick it up.
Pick it up, put it down. 1,
Pick it up, put it down.
2,
Pick it up, put
3,
it down. Pick it up, put it down.
5,
Pick it up, put it
6.
down. Pick it up, put it down.
Yeah, you did it.
Okay.
This baby's dead in the picture.
Wait, what?
It says it was taken maybe on November 14th, 1926, but it says 9/18/26 to 11/12/26.
So it had been dead for 2 days?
When did they take the picture of Agatha and the boys?
5/28/24. Simon's still alive. Charlie died 5 days before. Also, Bernardo died 5 days
The
before.
same day?
Maybe this isn't just a normal house. Maybe this is like one of those
Oh my-
places they would bring people to take photos of their dead kids or something. Because that's what they used to do way back then.
That's
But then why would they
true.
bring it all the way back here? Like, that is the creepiest thing.
So most photographers tended to travel to the location of the actual photo as opposed to being a repository for photography. So this may just be a record of whoever used to live here and a lot of the work that they did. So if this is the home of a hobbyist or a professional photographer, we may have stumbled upon exactly what I'm looking for somewhere in this house.
Let's find a dark room.
I just want to go in the other room real quick.
I'll take the lantern and nudge everyone to follow.
So as you move over into the family room, you begin to look around. It's a similar story from the other one. There's a lot of coffee tables, various sitting. It looks like this was definitely a waiting room or sitting area. And you look around, you don't see much, but you do see this. And that also has something written on the back. June 14th, 1953. Boy, used my new metal stands to achieve this posture.
Look what I found, guys.
5, 6.
Or 9.
I think it's 6.
Did you? I know you've been doing some stuff. Do you recognize this?
No, honestly.
Metal stand to achieve the posture.
I mean, symbols and totems are all a part of everything that is a cult, and numbers too, but this doesn't mean anything yet. But I do think he's speaking to us.
Yeah.
Let's just keep looking around.
I think it's separate. I think maybe goat and weird photographer might be separate. But.
One thing that you notice as you get into the sitting room a bit more is that the soft kitchen sponge-like texture of the carpet below you seems to be leveled off a bit, as if this part of the area isn't as wet and is more dry than other parts of the house.
Do we even know what it's wet with?
Has a thick ammonia smell to it.
Soaked in ammonia? Do they do that with photography? Is that like a thing in one of those chemicals?
It's one of a number of chemicals used in many processes, yes.
Well, it's all over this carpet.
Maybe this stuff spilled.
Well, we shouldn't stay in here. Yeah. I can definitely tell you that.
So you have some choices. This is another large room with 2 bay windows.
Can we open the bay windows? Or open the curtains?
Make a pull, please.
Oh no.
As you continue to walk through this dark, damp, messy place, Darby, you have to crawl over various boxes and you have to move long, sweaty pieces of newspaper as you get closer to the moldy curtains that are in front of you, and you realize they are caked with dust. They have so much age on them that it looks like that they haven't been opened in decades. And as you pull the curtains back slowly, you hear silence, and a large bat squeaks out and flies through the middle of the living room. As you see this bat, a whole nest full of bats just scatter through the entire room, and you watch as they eke and squeak as they carve through the midst of the main area and then bolt out through the front door.
I spin around and smack into whatever's behind me.
You hit a bat as it I drop and gets up and flies off, gets away. And you open these bay windows and see an overgrown, gorgeous-looking garden out in the back with a gazebo that seems to have a ground well that is sitting right there in an old brick-style Duncan lift manner.
Is there a radio cabinet in this room?
As you recovered from your squeaky fit, you turned around and actually bumped into a large side table that is swinging from side to side as you grab a hold of it and hold on to it in time. And lo and behold, there is an old radio there.
Ta-da! Wow.
As you click to turn it on, you hear
I'm going to set it to 540.
you begin to go from one side into the other, and you're looking to see if you can find something on the long wave radio. It's almost all static. But as you get closer to 540, you start to hear this. Pop it over and it falls down and it crashes and it breaks everywhere, falling across.
No! Why would you do that? They were talking to us. He really was speaking to us.
Anything.
They were yelling. It was a bunch of people.
I wasn't yelling. I was fighting.
Yeah.
They weren't talking to us. We were listening to them.
Well, as you continue to talk this through and think about it, you go through the rest of the house and you discover that there are 4 locked doors, of which, sadly, the key fits none of them. But the good news is, this is an old house, and these doors are weathered and they are thin. You could, if need be, probably force your way through any one of them, except for one. One is a very solid-looking wooden door, and carved on the inset of that front of the door is this. And inside each one of these small, singular alcoves, there seems to be a dial and 4 symbols that are represented on each one of the sides
Bottom
of the
left-hand
dial.
corner.
This one right here, yeah. So
Second to the left top.
We need more information.
probably need to look at more photos.
I'm going to give this to you, as you can use it as a reference.
We turn this one to, well, I'll do it. I'll just walk up and twist it so that this is facing the way it seems to want to face.
It twists with a loud.
Awesome. Then I turn.
Numbers, do you think the order matters?
I do.
Each time you turn it, it makes a loud, satisfying.
That's a satisfying click.
Sure was. Need to find more.
I'd start checking the other photos to see if anything comes loose.
No other photos that you can see in this area. You turn them over, you flip them, you look around, and you dive through all the various old and moldy papers, and you can see no other photos that have that unique backing on them.
Go ahead and take the lantern up and look at which one of the various handles to any of the doors looks the most dilapidated.
The one right across from the actual door that you are in actually seems to be the one that is the most deteriorated. In fact, there's no dust on the handle, unlike some of the other doors that are inside of this house. Now, if you would like to break down this door, I will absolutely allow you. You have 2 options. You can pull, or
Oh.
you can break this. Who wants to break down the door? All right, Caden. It's here for you. However you would like to prepare yourself, whether you, oh, I see, look at that. It's like the man came prepared or something.
Some plans.
Careful.
Yeah.
Well done. Caden breaks down the door as it slams open and wood splinters everywhere as he puts his hand through the old broken door and reaches in and very casually unlocks the door.
Ladies first.
Very nice.
I missed you.
Sat comes in with Tanner, Raina, and Darby behind holding the lantern, and you come into a actually very dimly lit room.
Light.
What's the source of the light?
The source of light seems to be a small lamp on the side table next to a twin-sized bed. In fact, as you look around more, you can see small children's toys and backpacks, and it is the most lived-in room that you've seen thus far. And you see edged weapons, hatchets, machetes, knives, all of them laid out across the sideboard.
I'd pick up the machete.
Sat, you pick up the machete and it falls apart in your hands. And you see a chest with a satchel on top of it. And a very strongly bolted lock.
I got a key.
Caden, you want to grab that kit?
You did it! Come on!
Yeah, you can put it in there if you want.
Oh, it's a healing block.
This is fucking genius. All right, guys. I think we're all in agreement. I'm feeling right here.
Maybe
Which side? Which
You think the other side?
Which side is it leaning on?
Yeah, we don't have any removed here, is why.
As you open up the first aid kit, you see there's actually water, small bit of food, and actually some pretty good-looking acetaminophen, ibuprofen, various other low-level painkillers that will help with the cold and the chill a little more. Sat, as you put this key, you realize that that actually opens the lock pretty easily, despite everything else.
what if, just saying, Simon's not dead, right? What if this old guy still lives here, but he's like super old now, right? And he's just like playing with toys, like a little creeper.
What if he's in the box?
Maybe he's in the box.
Maybe he's in the box.
Oh, wow, what a treasure. There's like these stickers and papers. Catch. Oh, cool. Oh, okay. It's some terrible art. There's
no, you
really
bring that
terrible
right
art
here.
here.
Oh, what
I think maybe I was wrong. I think maybe there's something about the goat and this situation.
He's here. Oh
But
my
also-
God, he's here.
No, give me that.
Oh, this is the creepiest
We
thing.
found
This
him.
says, Mommy says no animals in the house.
But there are horses and there are bats and
Oh, wait a
there are
minute.
goats.
Hey guys, I just wanted to, I know I didn't say anything. That radio, you know what it sounded like to me?
What?
It sounded like a Western. And there are Indians slaughtering a family. Two kids and a mother.
Oh, that's great. That's fantastic. That's wonderful.
Yeah, you can have that.
Each one of the items that you pull out seems to be, in one way or another, yeah, small children's toys, personal effects, they all are well worn. Now you slowly hear the sound of creaking door in the room with you. Only for a brief second, and it stops. And you look to see that the door that you left behind you is wide open, but there is a closet door as well. And it is creaked open ever so slowly. Make a pull.
Oh, sad.
Sat, as you are getting closer to this door, lifting your plastic hatchet, you smell something. Sat, you smell death. It fills your nostrils as your hand begins to shake. And as you pull the door open, you look in front of you and you see a small walk-in closet with various clothes all on the top shelf of everything, and you look down to see a pile of bones.
Human? Animal?
You look closer and you realize that it's actually a small pile, and every single one of them is an animal bone.
Mommy says no animals in the house.
I don't think that Simon's big on rules.
What's that?
Which one?
That one, is that?
That one.
This one is, I mean, I've been looking at this. It looks like they went from a hospital or a funeral home or something, drove, buried, went past the cemetery, through the forest, it's thundering and lightning, through the mountains, and then this.
What is that?
I don't know, it's like a hole.
Is that a truck with a red cross?
Yeah, it could be an ambulance.
Could be the ambulance taking them all the way through the forest to eventually the hospital where they died.
There are still 3 more doors.
Okay, well, let's make our way to the next door then.
So
Take the
Tanner,
lantern over.
you walk down through the main hall, and actually the first door to your right was another candidate that's locked.
I kind of look over at Caden, kind of a half-cocked stare and grin, hand the lantern off. I'm gonna make a pull.
So Tanner, as you get closer to this door, you have this ominous sense of foreboding that has suddenly come upon you. This overwhelming sense of dread, as if this room could be either the answer to all of the questions you've ever asked yourself over the course of this last year, or it could be your ultimate demise. Now, as you reflect upon the dangerous things that you've thought about over this year, you steel yourself with resolve. as you grasp that door and fling it open and reveal the dark, luminous light of a dark room.
I look back at Caden. Ladies first.
I walk in.
You see several things. One of them, which is immediately apparent because the kerosine's so close to you, is a stack of small receipts that are laid out on the bottom of the side table. And you also see jars, giant mason jars, like the ones that you would put specimens of various scientific study. They are layered and caked with dust, but in the light of this red fluorescent light, and your lamp especially, it has a familiar yellow tint to it.
Based on this is where he stored all his formaldehyde. However, what a photographer needs to do with a lot of formaldehyde, I guess we'll find out here in a moment. How is the dust obscuring the contents of these jars?
Yes, it is. Raina, you're wiping. Make a pull. Raina, as this last year has come down upon you, you have done a lot to shepherd your willpower to say that this didn't happen to you. That this is all just a dream. You built a perfect little fantasy world that protected you, Darby, and your friends from anything ever happening to them. And you've shown a surprising amount of willpower in the face of such terrors. But you have to ask yourself, do you really want to see what's inside of this jar? Raina, you could stop at any time. You could choose to fail and go home and leave your friends.
The only way out
But you don't.
is through.
You don't do that. You wipe the dust away from the jar to reveal an infant child inside of it. Its cold, open eyes are staring back at you as its languid, scrunched up form fills every available space in that alcove. That jar.
Oh my gosh.
This isn't fun anymore.
And as you look on the drying line, you see photos. So many photos.
Oh, that's the worst.
Oh, God.
That's not. I don't even.
Oh,
wanna,
no.
Sat, you're the one that wanted to come here. You're the one that wanted to see these things. Can you face what is right there in front of you? Let me tell you what they say. Which one would you like to hear first? Show it to me.
The sisters.
That one is labeled October 25th, 1926. Miss Martin's two girls, Cassia, 10, 22, 26, survived by her younger sibling,
The baby.
the baby.
I can't look at this one.
Yeah, there's a worse one.
6/14, 1968. Little Martha Petersberg. She was very hard to keep still, but she eventually compiled with Simon's help. 1/29/31, 6/14/68.
The man?
June 14th, 1933, Tobias.
Tobias, the letter.
Tobias,
Did that last one say
his
with
father?
Simon's help?
Well, Tobias is one that wrote the letter.
Wait,
Simon's dad.
it's his dad.
What year was Tobias's death?
43.
Okay, so whoever took out the child with Simon's help is not the father. It's not Tobias.
No, in fact, Simon, he was in the photograph with his dead brothers, I guess, in 1924.
Yeah,
The only
Simon
boy
was.
who lived.
Simon survived the two.
Yeah.
So you want to know the little girl?
The staring child.
June 14th, 1955. Girl, age 13. Such lovely skin.
The last three have all been on June 14th.
There's one more.
Wait, what day is it? We're the 12th?
June 13th.
What's June 13th?
For a few more hours. The family.
June 14th, 1946. Wandango Family. Simon brought them up from the city. I laid them on the bed to better show them sleeping peacefully.
What?
Don't feel good.
Well, in the particular family, they all appear to have quite a bit of head trauma across the board.
I'm totally looking at the door.
It doesn't matter.
Sad as you're looking around, it is nighttime now. And it's the first time that you've realized it's so quiet. It's so quiet. And you're looking at these pictures of these children. How are you feeling?
I want to go home.
I want to let's just go.
Sat. You don't have a home to go to. This is your home. This is all you have as far as home goes. Make a pull. Sat, you are staring into this blackened void that is your heart, and you may be in over your head too much on this one. The fear and the set around you is just, it's bearing down on you, Sat. But this is an opportunity for you to get everything that you've ever wanted. Your friends, the people who you care about, are here for you. So are you there for them, or are you gonna run away?
Oh my God.
Satine, you can opt not to pull and automatically fail, but something bad is gonna happen.
Sat, you should know, I've been thinking, and I thought I was alone this whole year in my head, making all of these decisions and diving really deep into all of this, which I definitely believe it, but when you broke down and told us everything, I realized that I was being selfish.
You think you know everything?
No,
You think you know everything.
I think I know a lot of.
I'm going to not pull.
She's not gonna pull.
But let me tell you what you think you know.
Sat,
what you
no,
don't
I'm telling
know,
you that
what you
I didn't
don't
realize
know is that I was in the hospital for months, that I OD'd, and nobody came looking for me
I know,
at all.
that's what I'm trying to tell you, that I realized that
I called you guys, and nothing. You guys didn't care?
What? No, it's not that I didn't care. I was
A
alone.
year.
I was right there in that same situation. I reached out.
You did not reach out
I
to
did.
me.
Not to you. I'd been
Why not
a
to
million
me?
times. I don't.
And you're my best
You
friend.
hear a loud thump, boom, boom, as something lands on the porch outside of the front door, and you hear a sound, a voice. Whoa, boom, as you hear more walking inside, and you hear from the area inside this squishy, thick sound of someone stepping on the wet carpet. Mom! Mom! Someone's in the house.